What's going on, guys? Welcome back to LOI Fan TV. I hope you're all keeping very, very well. This is a weird one. I haven't filmed in front of a camera like this in a long time. It's been very inconsistent from us this season so far, and we can only apologise for that. But I'm not going to make any huge promises or anything like that, but hopefully we can get back to some sort of a schedule and keep a couple of videos coming a week. That's the plan. Yeah, thank you so much for being so patient and for sticking around as well. If you do enjoy this video, I'd appreciate it if you drop a like on it down below, and please do subscribe if you're new around here as well. Do really appreciate all your support as always. And speaking of being inconsistent, this video is of course about Bohemians. As you can see from the title and the thumbnail, we will be discussing what's gone wrong for them so far this season. There are some big problems at Dalymount Park, and we're going to be discussing them in this video. I mentioned Cautiously Optimistic, our live show, and on that there last week, me, Liam and Azzy did all kind of discuss a lot of the big problems we see at Bows this season, and there is a lot of fans actually calling for Keith Long's head. I don't subscribe to this narrative at all. I think it's really way off, to be honest. I think Keith Long has actually become a victim of his own success, but despite that, there is a huge amount of problems for him to sort out at Bohemians at the moment. Keith Long has become famous for nearly his recruitment. He's always been losing maybe 5-6 players every season, and he's done such a good job of replacing them year in, year out. And I think this season is the first time where maybe it's been a poor recruitment over the winter, and he hasn't been able to replace the players that he lost to a kind of reasonable level. We will be discussing Bohemians' poor home form with a lot of mental statistics that you guys don't even believe. I couldn't believe these were true, but a lot of crazy statistics regarding Bohemians' home form as of late. Mental. If you look at Bohemians' kind of starting lineup and their kind of team that they have available, like, their attacking options are quite strong. It is in the defensive department where they've been really poor this season, and Bows fans notice themselves. They've conceded a lot of sloppy, cheap goals, and yeah, their defence has been quite poor this season. They brought in Jordan Doherty, of course, as maybe a Keith Buckley type replacement as a midfielder, and he's had to slot in a centre half, and he's done okay there, but it's not his natural position, and that's been a big problem for them. That area of the pitch, they haven't been able to replace the likes of your Rob Cornwall. And not being a full-time club, it is that kind of question of them maybe getting left behind by the other Dublin clubs, and we will explore that in this video as well. But yeah, really interesting topics to come up in this one, guys. Get down into the comments and let us know as the video progresses how you think Bows are getting on this season, and whether you think Keith Long is the right man to get them through this sticky patch. I certainly believe he is, but stick around to the end of the video. I will be discussing then again how I see kind of Bohemians moving forward and the kind of problems and big challenges that they face. I think there's a degree of Keith Long is actually like he's overachieved so much that Bows' fans' expectations have got so high to a degree where they shouldn't actually be. I mentioned this before. It wasn't long ago that we were on this channel talking to Bows fans, and they were delighted to be kind of staying up comfortably and things like that, and kind of in 6th and 7th place, and they were happy enough with that, and maybe a cup run and stuff. So I think it's potentially like a level of his own success with the club has got the fans to an expectation level where it's unreasonable and unrealistic, because every season they lose some, like their spine, their best players. It's an impossible job for Keith Long, and I do feel bad for him.
We keep speaking about it. It's what's going on behind the scenes is, you know, what's killing them as well. You know, he's working with terrible players, and the players that they brought in, you know, they just haven't been great, and he's trying to develop them, and you know, maybe they'll move on next season. Then he has to bring another flock of players in. Like it's actually I feel a little bit bad for him, but that's as far as it goes for me.
Bows have only won one Friday night home game since the start of October.
Hardly.
Is that true?
I think it is.
No,
Yeah,
that can't be true.
That's outrageous, isn't it? That's really poor.
Did you see the thing doing the rounds on Twitter? It was like, if Bows didn't concede in the last 30 minutes of them games or something, they'd be like second.
Shut up. Like, a couple other stats coming in. We've only won 4 since July 3rd as well. I presume that's to do with home.
No,
games. 4 games.
That can't be true.
I want to have a look at this. This can't be.
That's a stat. No way.
I think they'll stick with Long for the rest of the season, but I can't imagine that Bows higher ups aren't looking even now for a replacement for next season.
But like, who would you get in? Who would you get in? Ian Morris or something like? Who's out there? Who's out there to take
Buckley
in as a replacement?
Who? Buckley.
Buckley
Actually. Interesting.
I could see that.
I
could really see that.
Do all the Dublin clubs He'll have done
He'd
all
manage.
that.
He'd have managed Rovers, Pats, and Bows.
Yeah.
I'd
Sport
be
Fingal
happy
as
with
well.
that. Fingal as well, yeah.
Yeah. I can't see them getting rid of him, can they? Can you? I don't know. Like, I can't imagine it at all. Like,
I don't see it getting any better.
The clubs in turmoil. The board seem to bother more about climate officers than footballing matters. They deserve more of the blame than Keith. Adzi wholeheartedly agree with what I say.
Oh, absolutely. Like, not even taking the mick here. Like, it's save the bees, they say.
Did you know? Fun fact that they were 100% fan owned.
Oh, Jesus, Eddie.
I heard a rumor actually. Yeah.
Did you ever see that meme? What was it? The Simpsons meme, and they try to get Ralph or who was it to say something. And they're like, "Oh, say the line, Daniel. 100% fan owned."
Yeah. So good.
It is quite. You see it on Twitter, circle it every now and then after something happens to them, and you're like,
yeah.
It gets me every time.
Well, expectations will always rise when you've got Europe 2 years in a row and got through 2 rounds of it and made it to a cup final. Yeah, no, it's a fair point from the fans' perspective, but I think it is important to remember that, like, every season it's a case of he loses his best players. Like Georgie Kelly gone, Keith Buckley, Rob Cornwall left as well. Every year there's players that just bounce. I know, actually, to be fair, this year they've kept hold of Liam Byrne, Ali Coote and stuff. So they'll
be gone.
They'll be
gone soon. Yeah, they'll be gone soon. They didn't get Europe last season either, didn't they? Actually, just trying to think. Yeah, no, yeah. So don't even have that to look forward to this season. So I'm surprised that they stayed, because that would have been the only reason I would have thought they would have stayed for that. Andy Lyons, of course, as well. It's really shown he's all about this season. Yeah, it's so hard to replace these players every year, and I think it's just that one step too far where they might have got a couple of the wrong signings in or something, and it hasn't worked out. But like, even playing Jordan Doherty, I know he's not doing too badly, but it's playing him at centre half. It's not what he brought him in to do. He brought him in as midfielder. Like, it's not worked out at all. Even getting rid of Anto Breslin, I thought was probably a poor shout. I think he's probably a better defender, definitely a better defender than Tyreek Wilson. Tyreek Wilson might have more about him in terms of maybe set pieces and going forward, maybe. But I think Anthony Breslin as an all-round fullback, definitely the better option. So maybe it was a case of more money at Pats and European football. Maybe they kind of had that. It's hard to know what went on behind the scenes, but it's just been his team gets decimated. Yeah, exactly. Well, you can't progress without it.
You have to,
I think Shell's are full time as well.
Yeah, Shell's are full time. That's why Colin Byrne left, didn't it? When he left a few years ago, he has to be full time.
For Drogheda this year.
You have to do it in order to progress, especially even at this level. You can see the more clubs that have come full time around the league the last few years, the better they've gotten from it. And everything's improved around the club, whether it's facilities or, games and general performance. It's just the way to go. And Bows won't do that. I've said it umpteen times on this before. Bows won't progress unless they go forward. It's tough for them. I do genuinely fear they'll be left behind. Even UCD, I've said it. I'd rather be a UCD player because at least you have a backing. You've something to fall back on. No, in all seriousness, you do though. You have a degree.
College is paid for
exactly. You have something to fall back on. I'd rather be if I was a young player. I'd rather be going to UCD because if it doesn't work out,
they're both Shamrock Rovers academies anyway.
Yeah, fact. Absolutely, yeah. There you go.
Then he says, we got the talent in the forward areas to get into Europe, but the defence is all over the place. I think he's kind of failed to replace Georgie Kelly, but the only kind of thing I'd have on that. Ryan Cassie doesn't seem to be making a mark, really. I know Promise has a lot of promise as well, but shocking. But it's just Georgie Kelly. That is what he was. 28 goals last season, 30 goals last season, something. It's just impossible to replace. Really, UCD have as many wins in daily amount as they have as Bows since November.
No way.
Where are these stats come from? I don't know if people are making these up now.
UCD beat Bray in daily amount in that playoff game.
And that's the They haven't
That's the
even beat
win.
Bows this season. Like, oh my god. Keith Long's been unlucky, but the budget has increased drastically from 6 to 7 years ago when he first came in. I suppose that's a fair point. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, they got the money from Matt Doherty and so on, and
yeah, I think that's been quite. They definitely use a lot of money off the field side as well, don't they? Like, not shy, but like like on off the field things as well.
If they've used that to employ a climate officer, I swear to God.
They don't come for free, I wouldn't say. They don't come for free.
I'm sure, yeah.
Another stat from David here. Bows are one of 2 teams to have not won a match in the second half yet, along with the mighty Athlone.
This is incredible.
Lenny says Bows are going full-time next year, apparently, and that they won't progress unless the board backs Keith Long with more money, and if they can't do that, then just sack him. Yeah, I don't know. Hard to know. But if they're going full-time next year, I suppose they have to. Like, it's years too late.
Yeah.
They have to be done. Like, it's the bare minimum, to be honest.
Before they're left behind, and it'll prove them, and it'll bring in more money for everybody all together as well. So it'll be just great for the club and League of Ireland in general.
Obviously, it is funny, like looking at some of the comments and stuff. We have a bit of a laugh because I'm a Shales fan, Andy's a Rovers fan. We're going to be a little bit tongue-in-cheek regarding Bows at times, of course, but some of the problems that we did discuss in the video there really, really are real. They're real issues that Bohemians do face at the moment. Bohemians have recruited a couple of new signings. They've brought in Ryan Burke, a left back. Obviously, we kind of touched on Tyreek Wilson. He's had a really poor campaign so far compared to his previous campaigns. Obviously, letting go of Anthony Breslin, I thought was a poor decision. I'm not sure, maybe he went to pat off his own back, but I thought that was a poor decision. I think he is a better fullback than Tyreek Wilson, just in terms of being an all-round defender. So Ryan Burke coming in at left back to add some more options in that area. I'm not surprised to see Keith Long targeting a player for that position, and it'd be interesting to see how he does. I think it'll probably come straight into the side and just offer them that bit more solidity at the back. But yeah, I think they still need a couple of more defenders to come in. We've seen John O'Sullivan coming in as well from Accrington Stanley. He's a lot of pedigree. He's played in England for years. He's a good age as well, 28 years of age, coming in, a lot of experience in the English lower league. So he's a good signing, I think, and I haven't seen an awful lot of him, but I think he will add a lot of quality to their midfield. Now, from my very limited research, I've seen that I think he's more of a kind of a number 10, an attacking midfielder. So I'm not sure if he's like a natural kind of CDM, maybe coming in for that Keith Buckley, that kind of position where they need to strengthen. So I'm not sure if he's coming in to play in a deeper role or in a more advanced position. But if he is playing in a more advanced position, then they definitely need, Bohemians need at least 2 more signings. They need, I'd actually say 3 more signings, but they need a right full centre half and a CDM. Bare minimum, they need to get that in. So yeah, definitely a lot to do for Keith Long still, but a decent start by the looks of it, and it'd be interesting to see how the new signings get on. There is pressure going on Keith Long's shoulders. We've seen it. Both fans have been kind of growing impatient, and as I said, I think he is a victim of his own success. Expectations have been heightened to an unrealistic level, in my opinion, for the club at the moment. But there's no escaping that he is under pressure, and the next 2 games, it doesn't get much bigger. Shelbourne at home, a rejuvenated Shelbourne, an informed Shelbourne, travel to Dalymount Park. They've already come to Dalymount Park this season and drew 1-1, so it'll be interesting to see how that game goes. And of course, they then travel to Tallaght Stadium to play against Shamrock Rovers. So there's 2 defeats from 2 in those huge Dublin derbies. It could be a real tough one for Keith Long to try and keep hold of his job, just the pressure that will be on his shoulders after that. But 2 wins there, or 4 points from those 2 games, or even 2 good performances and maybe 3 points from those 2 games, and we're looking at a different landscape completely. So huge couple of weeks coming up for Keith Long and for Bohemians, but no matter what happens, I just don't see Bohemians moving him on. They seem to be backing him in the transfer market, bringing in a few players. They seem to be kind of giving him that confidence. They gave him a 4-year deal not long ago, so I don't think they're going to pay that out either. But I do think Keith Long is definitely the right man for the job to drive them forward personally. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I'm really intrigued to see what you all think, and if you did enjoy the video, please do drop a like on it down below. We will have more content coming up ahead of the season restarting on Friday, so make sure to stay tuned as well. We will have the live show, as I said, as well, so do subscribe to stay up to date with all of our latest content. I think we have a Shamrock Rovers video coming out soon, discussing a few bits and pieces there. But yeah, plenty of stuff coming up. Any video ideas you want to see us discuss, let me know down below as well. But I appreciate you all tuning in. Thank you so much for watching the video today, and I'll catch you in a bit.